Hello everyone, Nubkeks here, welcome back to Nub Raids, and in today's video I've got several pieces of news for you several pieces of news. So the first thing, let's get it out of the way nice and quick. Brew Maiden, this is a brand new promo code, click confirm, should be live in game right now, and you're going to get a selection of brews. So it's a small little bonus, but kind of a nice thing. I like these little fun promo codes that they throw in. I think it's a nice little perk. I'd actually like if they did these small little things more often. It's not game changing, but it's nice. So there you go. Now, if you're looking for more rewards than that, if that is not enough, fantastic. So we're going to have on my Discord channel, you can join the Discord channel down below. You can actually... We're going to have a giveaway in here, right? We're actually putting it up right now, so it will be live, or should be live by the time the video goes live. So just come to my Discord, go to the giveaway entry, and there will be a bot, and you need to click the reaction to the bot. Don't react to me. Every time we do this, people react to me when I ping people to let them know about it. You need to react to the bot. You'll automatically be entered, and then it will automatically assign winners, so it's nice and fair and everything. And that's going to be a giveaway for 540 gems. We are going to have it'll be 540 gems, a void shard, and an epic tome. And there's going to be 5 winners. You're going to get all of those things if you're one of the 5 winners. So it's actually a really good giveaway. That's part of the content creator program from Plarium. Big shout out to Plarium for letting me do that. So again, follow that in the Discord. Next up, all right, let's dive in. We've got a 10x event happening this weekend, which is no surprise, really. And given that we've just followed from a 2x Sacred, a double legendary event from Sacred Shards, and we're expecting... we are expecting as well a guaranteed Sacred event fairly soon. This is really not all that surprising. In fact, hang on, let me show you. The giveaway is now active, so come in here and click this big button to enter. Let me actually ping everyone. Giveaway now active. 24 hours. There we go. Send now. Bam. Cool. So it's live. You guys can see it's live. We're good. The interesting thing about this 10x event, let's dive into it. The first champion I want to talk about in this 10x is actually Staltus Dragonbane. Now, as you guys know, we've been predicting a guaranteed champion from Sacred Shards for quite a while. Kind of expecting it might happen actually this upcoming Tuesday. It's going to overlap a clan v clan. It kind of makes sense, especially when you see how good this 10x is. This guy was the front runner. But if he is in the 10x event right now, that basically disqualifies him from being in there, which is kind of nuts. And now we need to go like, who the heck could this 10x champion be? It's probably something good. I mean, my next best bet is maybe Snicktrack is a new champion. Really freaking cool and would be a really good combo with Uko. So that could be nice, right? Mighty Uko giving you revives and increased speed. Snicktrack gives you shielding, leech, ally protection, and AoE decreased speed. I think they're a nice combo, and Snicktrack should be very good for the Iron Twins. So that's my best guess, but really it could be anything for that guaranteed. Who the heck knows at this point? Maybe there won't even be one. I think there will be, but who knows what it could be, right? Who knows? Anyway, Staltus. Is Staltus good? Yes, Staltus is one of the absolute best defensive nukers in the game. The advantage of being a defense nuker is that obviously you're really tanky at the same time. You don't take much damage, and that's a big advantage. You can see his defensive stats are really good, and we're going to be cranking his defense high to let him do his damage. He has a double hitter that hits really hard here with a very good chance to stun on a 3-turn cooldown. Then he's got a 4-turn cooldown, second AoE attack, so it's kind of like the Ethos style setup. Very powerful. He actually gives himself increased defense with this second AoE, so it does mean you can use him in the arena as like a big bursty defensive nuker, even without bringing in a champion like Sifi to give him increased defense before he goes. He can actually provide it for himself. Now, the biggest problem with him, I do think, is his affinity. You're really going to struggle against Duchess, and Duchess is all over the place. So I don't think he's as good as Solus at all. I think Solus is significantly better, but this guy is extremely good. He smacks super hard. He's got a very good passive, which also massively ups his damage. So defensive nuker, absolutely slams. I think he's very strong. Next up then, the other champion from Ancient and Sacred Shards in the 10x is going to be Hefrak. who is the hardest hitting attack nuker at the moment. I do think Baron is going to come in and kind of challenge him in a big way with Baron's rework coming in the next patch or coming soon. But Hefrak comes in. He has this extra hit. He double hits if he brings targets below half health. So if he brings them below half health on the first hit, he's pretty much going to kill them with the second hit, right? Unless they have reaction or unkillable or something. He ignores defense with this hit. He gives himself increased attack and increased crit rate with an extra turn, so he absolutely slams. And then he actually gets to activate his AoE for free whenever an ally is killed. Well, not whenever. When an ally is killed with a 4-turn when booked cooldown. So this makes him very, very strong. He's an absolute beast. Massive AoE damage. Like, it's actually disgusting how hard this guy hits. He's very strong. So yeah, they are two very good, like, absolute top tier defensive nuker, absolute top tier attack nuker coming from these legendaries. Now for the Void Legend, actually we've got one more, we have one more absolute top tier nuker, Cupidus. I actually got two Cupidus. Unfortunately, I don't have the Venus to pair with either of them, but Cupidus is the other normal legendary that's being boosted in this 10x. So he's obviously exceptional. He's got an AoE A1, an AoE A2 that can burn. He gives himself increased attack and does a big single target smack on his A3. Now, the thing that's really good is that when he's with Venus, he just straight up does 25% more damage, and he counterattacks whenever attacked. Every single time he's attacked, he gets to counterattack, and he's got an AoE A1. So Cupidus with Venus is insane. In Arena, you put them in Stone Skin, and they are disgusting. You put them in with... same thing with Hefrak, really. You can put them in with... what's his name? I've forgotten. What's his name? Oh my god. Nekret. Nekret the Great. You put them in here, and Nekret protects them, and they just start slamming out, and then you can build them in Savage. That's really good as well. Cupidus is amazing for Hydra too, amazing for just really powerful in general. So we've got 3 top tier nukers across the board. It's really good. The Void, we've got 1 Void legendary is being boosted, and guess what? It's a top tier nuker, Leorius the Proud. Absolutely insane. Leorius with his passive, he's kind of like Skull Crown on steroids, but he smacks super hard when his health is low. He's got an AoE here. He's got an AoE here. Again, the 3-turn plus 4-turn AoE that we love to see. And the really great thing about this one is that it makes him immune to crowd control when his skill's not on cooldown. And then he gets unkillable as well. So it's very hard to deal with Leorius. He is an absolute monster. He's like Ethos and Skullcrown had a baby, and it was a lion somehow, but really good. So there you go. Now, for the epics, which are the things you're obviously more likely to get, the epics, we have, again, some very good epics. Speaking of Skullcrown, she is the Void Epic boosted. So a very, very good epic arena nuker because of this unkillable, right? When she drops low, she gets unkillable, which is super good. Really good arena aura for that early mid game. AoE A1 that smacks twice if the target is high on life, and then a big nuking A2 that can place weaken, but you generally don't worry about that too much. She is very good. You can see from her stats she hits really hard. You don't need to build her with any defense because this keeps her alive. She is a fantastic early mid, even relevant into the late game nuker. She's actually really, really good. One of the best epic nukers. Then we've got, again, some more really good ones from your regular shards. So first up, we have Thylesia coming in. She's kind of a weird one here. She doesn't really fit in, I feel, as an AoE nuker. So she is very squishy. I guess you could build her to AoE nuke. She'd hit pretty hard. For me, Thylesia definitely stands out as a champion that's probably going to be very good with Mighty Uko for Hydra. And you're probably going to build her tanky and just use her AoE hits with War Master to do damage because she has a ton of utility. She has AoE decreased defense on a 3-turn cooldown, then a second AoE that increases all debuff duration, and then she's a really good chance to put out Hex. So she is absolutely fantastic for Hydra. It's just hard to keep her alive because she's very, very squishy. Speaking of Hydra, we also have a 10x boost for Husk. Am I in the right place? No, Husk is undead. We've got Husk over here. Where is he? There he is. Husk is exceptional for Hydra because he's got a really good chance to provoke. Well, not really good, but he's got a decent chance to provoke on his A1. So he can sort of help you lock down Head of Decay and then do these max HP nukes. And he's got tons of health, so he's actually quite tanky. So Husk is extremely, extremely good. Obviously, Acrizia really outshines him now, but I feel like Husk is generally, I feel, a bit more useful than Royal Guard for Hydra simply because that provoke is so nice to have. And then finally, we have, back to the Demon Spawn, we've got Magnar, who's probably the best HP nuker for Arena. Probably. because it's just easy to use, right? Percussive Pound hits twice on enemies without HP burn. This hits really hard. He's got tons of life. He doesn't have much crit damage, unfortunately, but he still smacks real hard. He's got some big single target hits right there as well. So he's just a really good champion, and he's epic only, so he's accessible. So we've got, this is a crazy 10x event, guys, right? This is absolutely crazy. We have some of the most powerful nukers in the entire game, across epics, across legendaries. Of course, the trick here is that it's highly unlikely you have any shards left, right? You probably don't have any shards left, which makes this really rough. There's a good chance we could have a guaranteed sacred legendary coming in the next week as part of Clan v Clan. I think it's fairly damn likely. And yeah, just how many shards do you have left? And bear in mind, we're gonna have a new fusion starting soonish as well, because Mighty Uko's coming to an end. So in the next week or two, we're gonna have another fusion. So you probably want to start saving shards up for that. So this is, I feel, a real bait event. And one thing to definitely consider as well, check it out. We've got a Heroes Path event starting with a legendary book, a legendary ore, and the big soul stone in there. It is certainly possible that summoning champions, Champion Chase, could be part of this Hero's Path. That's definitely something to watch out for, right? They might make this exceptionally hard to do and really force you to pull shards to get this, which I don't know if it's worth it. I kind of feel like it's not, because it's a big gamble. It's certainly interesting. The Eternal Soulstone, these are very difficult to get. I haven't got one yet. I'm 60% of the way there, you know? It's tough to get. And I do think that these, I mean, in theory, these are very expensive. Like, in theory, let me see, because there's an offer in the shop right now. Just to put this in context, because I think it's hilarious. Like, right now, they're selling a Mortal Soulstone for $150, okay? Mortal Soulstone for $150. Now, 10 Mortal Soulstones gives us 200 coins. With 1,000 coins, we can buy one of these, okay? So if 1,000 coins buys one of these, we're going to need 50 Mortal Soulstones for Immortal. And then we're going to need, let's say we're going to need 30 of these. So we're going to need what? 30 x 50? We're going to need 1,500 Mortal Soulstones. Is that right? I could be wrong in this. Quick maths, but I just think it's funny. Let's say 1,500 Mortal Soulstones. Is that right? Is that right? To get enough Immortal Soulstones to pull an Eternal Soulstone. And if they're 150 each, it's going to cost you about 2,250 euro or dollars or, you know, whatever, which is, you know, that's a good chunk of money. So, I mean, in theory, this might be a great deal if you're interested in that. Obviously, all that stuff is ridiculously overpriced. We know that this Altar and Awakening, that the amount of stuff that we're getting feels really at the moment to be extremely low. But yeah, these Eternal Souls, what I'm trying to say is that these are really difficult to get. It takes a long time to get them. Yes, certainly they're much more difficult to get than Sacred Shards, no question. And those are typically sold for, you know, 15 to 25 euro or dollar. You know, it's a lot of money. So anyway, that's what's going on. Let me know. Are you going to pull in this 10x event? It's a 10x event. For me, as always, it's maybe worth going for if you are in your Mercy timer and if you've been tracking it. I think that is unlikely for most people to be the case, seeing as we've had so many sacred events recently, but perhaps for Voids or for Ancients that might be the case, and certainly these champions are extremely good. So in that case, sure, maybe give it a go, but if you're pulling really any even medium number of shards, a 10x event really doesn't become super worth it, unless you're super uber endgame or a super uber whale, really. But there you are. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Don't forget about that giveaway, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.